Hey, what's going on guys? Logdotzip here, and welcome back to the Minecraft Redstone video. Today I'm going to show you how to make an awesome trap using only the items you see on me in this Okay then. Well, that was a little bit of a surprise. Ha! Except not really, because I set that up. I knew it was going to happen. Anyways, yes, what's up guys? Logdotzip here. Welcome back to the Minecraft Redstone trap. Today's going to be a simple one, courtesy of Red Foss. Thanks so much for the inspiration. Do check out his channel linked in the description below. This is a simple one. Everything you see on me, in fact less than what you see on me, is all you're going to need to make this awesome redstone trap, and it works in 3 different spots. It works, well, I guess 2 different spots. It works in gravel, it works in sand, and it works in red sand. Yeah, so 2 different spots. Now, the reason you need to be in sand or gravel is because it is based off of the fact that they have gravity. Do you see what I mean? Check it out. You break that, that one falls. You break that, that one falls. Using that in conjunction with some faulty flower mechanics allows you to make an awesome minecart TNT trap that is sure to blow your opponents away. And like I said, it could not be any easier to do. So hopefully you guys find some use for this trap, and hopefully you enjoy the video. If you do, make sure you drop a like on the video. It means so much to have your support. I'd love to see 600 likes for this awesome trap. But we're gonna go ahead and show you how to build it, where you're gonna want to build it, and then explain a little bit about how it works after. So let's do that. Okay, so where you want to do it is kind of specific. There's 2 different categories that you need to hit. First of all, your trap area has to involve either sand or gravel of some sort, which makes this trap, you got to place it in certain spots, but it is deadly once you can find a spot. Over here in this instance, we have ourselves a little shaft through a cave system, and that brings me to the second thing you're going to need is you're probably going to want a narrow passageway. Now, the reason for that is in order for your victim to trigger this trap, they're going to have to walk along some specific blocks, namely the block that is concealing this. So you want it to be narrow, probably no wider than this, maybe a little bit wider. It just depends on how sure you are your enemy or whoever is going to walk over this trap. And the second of all, as I said, it's got to be something with sand and gravel. So ideally, if you're going to build this trap, build it somewhere where sand or gravel might naturally appear. Don't just place sand like, ooh, what could this sand be doing here? That's probably going to set off some flags in their head that something's going on if there's random sand. Or maybe not, because maybe someone just thinks that sand is randomly there. I don't really know. But you're more than likely to fool your opponent or your foe. I don't know why I'm like saying all these weird words. If it makes sense. Like, we're in a cave here. You oftentimes find gravel in caves. In fact, this gravel was already here. I didn't place this gravel here. You believed me. I totally placed this gravel here. You see what I mean? That's what I mean. Like, gravel you can find in caves. And this is the ideal spot for the trap. So first thing you're going to want to do is on a little corner block like this. Got to be a corner block. Go ahead and break that block, and then break 3 blocks. We're actually going to go into game mode 1 for this. I was going to just show you that it only needs that many items, but you can just watch. So break that first block, and then break 3 more down. From there, place a single dirt on the ground. Then place any 2 high flower. We've got rose bushes here, and that's what I've tested with, so you may as well just use rose bushes. Then replace that gravel. You can see it looks once again like nothing has been changed. Now go 2 blocks either in this direction or in this direction, and we're going to go ahead and just choose this direction. Build or break a block right there, and then break 2 blocks right there and 1 right there. So the rose bush should be right there to you. Now go ahead and place down 1 rail here and 1 rail here. Now that will make the rail kind of connect to each other and slant down. From here, you can now stack multiple minecarts with that extended hitbox that happens when minecarts are on a track. We went ahead and placed 3 down for the time being. From there, you can break this rail once again. You can then replace whatever block was there before, in this case stone, and you're almost done. Now place down a string on top of the block that is concealing the flower, as well as around the other blocks that are touching this block. So aka this block and this block. Anything touching this, not adjacent because it's not technically touching, but this one, and on top. Those all need to have string. This is what's going to trigger the trap. From here, the final step is simple but delicate. Be careful because you now have basically a live bomb underneath the gravel. So depending on how much gravel or sand is part of your trap, you're going to want to dig gently around it. In this case, we've got a lot of gravel going on here. So what we're going to want to do is make sure that we dig far enough to not affect any of the gravel that has string on top of it. And we are going to surgically remove... Oh, thank goodness. It didn't affect that. See, that's the only thing you got to watch out for. You have to break not the top, but the bottom part of your rose bush or whatever too tall flower you have. Break the bottom part. This will make it so that this gravel is not affected by gravity. I'll tell you about that after, but that is what you have to do. Break the bottom part here, and then once again, just conceal the rest of your trap. Make sure to not affect this block in any way. So for example, I accidentally dug too far down right here. There should be a block right here. For now, we're just going to leave that, and we're going to break this up too so we don't affect it. But now that you've done that, your trap is completely live. When you hit any of these strings, it's going to cause this gravel to update, which is also going to cause those TNT Minecarts to update. And upon hitting the string, look what happens. Boom, baby! Instant explosion. Not too bad. Now, the cool thing about this, not only is it very cheap to make, however, it is also very, very deadly. With only one cart, you're almost certain to kill somebody that doesn't have any armor on, especially if they can take height damage. If you're in a cave, it's not going to work as well doing that, but if you place down 2, you're going to be able to knock out iron, and if you place down, like, I think either 4 or 5, you can kill anyone wearing full diamond armor. The other good thing about it is since the explosion happens right away, you're not going to lose any of that person's items to explosions happening afterwards. All the items they drop will be safe, unless for some reason, I don't know, a creeper decides to blow up the stuff. So we're going to build this one more time in quick succession, not going to take too many pauses, just so you understand how awesome this is. So once again, break your initial corner block and 3 down as well. Place another dirt block at the bottom there. Place down your rows. Place the offending sand or gravel right on top there. 3 strings, 1 on top and 1 to the adjacent sides of it. 2 blocks to the right of that, you place down 1 rail. Then break 2 blocks here as well as that one. Make the rails attach like so. Place down as many minecarts as you want. I think we're going to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Place down 6. Hide your trap. Break this rail again. Hide that trap. Now, carefully, very carefully, go down nitty gritty. Break the bottom part of the rows. And your trap is now set. Game mode 0. Walk onto any of the string. Get blown sky high. Quite literally, sky high. Wow, good stuff. I cannot wait for you guys to steal some items with this. Now for a little bit of explaining as to why it works. Here we have the base trap stripped down so you can see a lot of it. And for sake of this demonstration, we don't actually need these blocks here. They're just going to get in the way. So just remember that I broke these when explaining this. So you can see here, we've got the rail system where the TNT minecarts will go. We'll place those last. We've got the rose bush we've placed down, the dirt it's placed on top of, the gravel that's on top of the bush, and the string that is on top of the gravel. This block is also important to be here. Now, before I explain any further right over here, let me show you a little bit about gravity. As you know, there are a few blocks that adhere to gravity in Minecraft. 1 is sand, 1 is gravel, 1 is anvils, which we're not actually doing today, so mostly just sand and gravel. Now, the thing with bushes, or rather rose bushes and other too tall blocks in 1.8, well, they're too tall blocks. The thing is, though, they kind of glitch out. If you look for a split second. You can kind of see what looks like another flower briefly appear there when you break the bottom one. Not when you break the top one, though. Now, I don't exactly know why this is, but basically, when you break the bottom of a flower compared to the top of a flower, it will not update the other blocks around it. So example, break the top one here, gravel comes flying down. Break the bottom one here, since you broke the bottom one, the top one disappears with it, did not technically update this block around it. So now we have floating sand as well. Now this is important because the moment that this does in fact get updated is when it will. So for example, if I place a block here, this sand is going to update, and they're both going to fall at the same time. However, if you have a sand here with the rose bush still in place, it won't be updated because it's still being held up by gravity. So, right here, we place the string on top. This is why you place the string before you break the bottom of the rose bush. Since the string has already been placed on top, it is not affecting the block state of the sand, which means the sand continues to remain in air. If you did that in the backwards direction, however, it would update because you are placing a block next to, in this case, on top of the sand, which causes it to drop. The other thing, though, and this is what's crazy about it, and this is why string is the best thing ever, because it's so hard to see, if you walk on top of string, it technically counts as a block update. So just by my character touching the string, the sand gets updated as well. And that is what sets off the trap. Now, that we can show you over here is the other reason why it is important that this block stays in place. Because if this gravel was not here, you place a TNT cart down, it'll just start moving. It'll start moving on its own like that. But if you place that down just like that, the minecart TNT is now being held in place by this block here. The other reason it's important to have a block here as well before you place down the TNT is because if you don't, this entity will be in the way of the other block. So make sure there's a block placed here first and then place your minecart with TNT. That way you can place the entity into the block, but you can't place the block into the entity. However, once you break this bottom block, since the gravel does not get a block update, it stays in place, which also keeps the TNT minecart in place. We'll go ahead and place down a rose bush here and place down our final string as well. Now, once again, this place is now completely set up, lined, ready to go. You break the bottom rose bush, TNT stays in place because this block stays in place. However, the moment that you hit this string, it's going to cause the gravel to fall, which is going to cause the minecart to move, just like this. And there's your explosion, and that is how this amazing redstone trap works. So I encourage you to go test this out on your multiplayer worlds, which leads me to my final point. For whatever reason, doing this on a single player survival mode map, it will not work. I don't know why, but Minecraft interprets creative mode a little bit differently than survival mode when it comes to block updates and gameplay mechanics like that. And multiplayer survival is also different from single player survival. So this will work on a multiplayer server and this will work in single player creative mode, but if you try and do this in single player survival mode, which you would have no reason to do, why would you make a trap in survival mode? It won't work. So keep that in mind when you're building this trap. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, check out Redfoz. Hope you enjoyed the video as well. If you did, drop a like. It means so much to have your support. 600 likes for the next trap, and we will see you for the next video. See ya.